Hello and welcome back, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. If you are in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius in your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or in placements on your astrological natal chart, then these messages are for you. And today I'm going to be focusing on the secret unsent letter or message from your ex. I'm going to be channeling messages from your ex's perspective and taking a closer look at the key points or messages of a hypothetical unsent either message or a letter. Now, again, trigger warning here. If you feel that this may be too much, it's fine. Take a look at other messages that I have in the no contact playlist. That being said, welcome. My name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, take a look down below in the description box. My links are down below. For those of you who are my subscribers, my new viewers and visitors alike, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. All right, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, we're going to take a closer look here at the key points, messages here of a hypothetical unsent letter or message that your no contact ex would send you, or if they're thinking about it, what it would say. And of course, I'm going to be channeling the messages from your ex's perspective. Okay. No, now I do have here sentence starters, okay? And this is going to give an overview of the first part of the beginning of the letter, and then the second and final part of the rest of the letter, okay? It'll make sense as I move along. So let's take a look here. So I don't know obviously I know what the message, what the sentence starters are, but I don't know what may come out. So let's see here for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, what's coming through here. Okay, so this X's letter is going to start talking about the following. It says, what I kept to myself. What I kept to myself. So there may have been emotions, thoughts, a situation, circumstance, an event, something that they did not say, but maybe should have said, and maybe this is going to give a little bit clarity here on what they may have felt they should have said or could have said. And then this hypothetical letter, okay, that flipped over. So I'm just going to, it says solo refuge. In solitude, embrace, singles find the strength to regroup and to rediscover their path. Okay, so let's take a look at that even closer. All right, so what I kept to myself, I feel here what this is saying, what they kept to themselves, the moment that this breakup, separation, or divorce occurred, whomever decided to actually make that decision, it's talking about someone who took that moment to really see and say to themselves, okay, now what am I going to do? What's my next step? The solo refuge. In solitude's embrace, singles find the strength to regroup and rediscover their path. During this breakup, separation, or divorce, what they kept to themselves has a lot to do with figuring something out. There could have been here this energy where your ex may not have been fully, or being able to see something fully, or realize something fully here. They may have been unaware of some certain things, maybe because they were caught in their own emotions, maybe the anger, maybe the resentment, maybe, there were other things involved here. But this person is saying here that they kept to themselves, or what they kept to themselves is the fact that they really needed to take a hard look at what the conversation, the arguments, or the wedge that happens here between the both of you. So this person may have decided to be alone for a while, or if they did decide to go in another connection, it might not have lasted very long. Okay, a solo refuge is someone who really needs to have that hermit energy in tarot. Okay. And the Hermit energy in tarot is about introspection. It's about that soul searching. It's about that solitude. It's about looking at the truth, but being able to do that on a solo journey. This person could have felt like they were going through a dark night of the soul. All right. And what they kept to themselves is the burden, the weight of those things that they should have said or should have done and didn't. Okay. Now let's take a look at part 2 of this message letter. That one came out very quickly. So let's see what's coming through here. So let's take a closer look. The second part of the letter here, hypothetical letter. I moved on, but look at that. Again, solo refuge. This person, and again, this is a general reading. So for some of you, this may resonate, for others, you may not. But it's coming across as this person may have decided to break up. They decided to move on, but they realized something after they made that decision. We're going to see what that is. Okay. All right. So your ex is saying here, I moved on, but let's see what's coming through. This is a person that it seems like this person was very quiet about their emotions and feelings. A lot of what you may have seen on the exterior wasn't really this person's true emotions or true thoughts. It feels like there's this sense here of um a jaded energy, right? Like they were very reserved or upset or resentful here. I feel here also pride and ego may have gotten the best of this person as well. So let's see. I moved on, but so this is the letter, the rest of the letter here for you. I moved on, but it's on. I see you looking good and moving on. I don't care who you're talking to. I'm better. I will compete for you. They moved on. And again, I'm going to give you two different messages here. So, for those of you who this person, your ex, decided to break up, they decided, like, listen, it's over, it's a wrap, I don't want to be with you. They've come to realize they made a mistake, or they've come to realize here that although they were moving on, they may still be looking at your social media accounts. They may still be wondering how you're doing. There's a part of them who's like, what did you do? Maybe they allowed their emotions to get the best of them, their anger, their disappointment, maybe this is a person who is avoidant. They have an avoidant type of personality. Maybe they have this runner chaser dynamic, the runner dynamic here. Okay, if they were the ones that decided to just break up and run in the other direction. Okay, now if this person was not the one who decided to go their separate ways, they felt here that there was a lot that they wanted to say and do but didn't have an opportunity, and so they moved on, but not because they wanted to. They moved on because they had no choice, right? You decided that it was over, and so they had no choice but to move on. But even though they moved on, okay, there's a tender special place that they have in their heart for you. This person may still be in love with you. This person may look at your social media accounts if they can, or they're going to look at pictures. They may be very curious about what you're doing, and maybe you've gone on, maybe you've moved on, maybe you are in other connections. There's something here about them either knowing about that or seeing or hearing about it in some way, shape, or form, and they feel that they were better in some way, shape, or form. So again, they feel like this person that you may have picked may not be the ideal person for you because they feel that they were better for you for whatever reason. Okay, again, this is their perspective. Okay, they also have here tears. When I think about you, I cry. Okay, so I moved on, but when I think of you, I still cry. When I moved on, but there's still sadness in my heart for you. I moved on, but I still care about you. And it bothers me that you've moved on or that you are seeing other people. Okay. Let's get more clarity here. Let's get more clarity of it's on. It's on skin to skin, passionate embrace and touch. I've moved on, but I still think about when we were together. I've moved on, but I still remember those intimate moments, the embrace, the passion, the touch, the kiss, the moments together, the intimacy. Now, again, intimacy could be physical intimacy. It could also be the intimacy of being vulnerable, of sharing emotions and moments together. So they moved on, but they still hung on or have hung on to this energy here. It says, I've moved on, but tears. I've moved on, but when I think of you, I cry. Look at that. Vulnerability is terrifying, shedding layers. I've moved on, but the vulnerability that they, or I should say, like they would say something like, I moved on, but the vulnerability that I should have shared with you was very terrifying. I know I needed to shed those layers. I know I needed to bring down my guard. I know I should have spoken in, a more loving way or responded in a more loving way or just opened up in general. But I needed time to regroup. Okay. What I kept to myself is that I still needed to figure something out. All right. Wow. Very, very beautiful, message here. Again, this is from your ex's perspective. Give me more here. What else is coming through in regards to this ex? Ooh, romantic feelings. Look at that. Yep, that makes a whole lot of sense. This person is still, they're still very hung up on you. I feel that although it was over, in their emotions, it wasn't over. They still feel the sadness. They still wish that they could connect with you in some way, shape, or form. But they realize that, again, they need to find the strength to regroup and rediscover their path. That, there are lessons in that path. So they do have here romantic feelings, says your feelings are real and worth exploring. And for some of you here that you may have kind of wondered, was my ex's emotions for me real? Did they love me? Did they care about me? Because maybe they didn't show that. Maybe they just showed this sense of iciness or distance or silent treatment or the coldness of the indifference. This is saying yes, they still had romantic feelings for you. They just were not showing it. They kept it to themselves. They may have felt that showing or saying how they truly romantically felt towards you was super, super difficult because it required them to open up. And vulnerability may have been super terrifying for this person. And shedding back the layers of this sense of showing their emotions. And maybe they showed their emotions, but they showed their emotions in a kind of like in a way where it was either silent, like they could not go deep, and tell you. And they could have been the type of person who, instead of telling you, I love you, instead of telling you how they truly felt about something, it was anger that came out. They were angry, or an argument. Or maybe that's when they would open up during an argument. And you're like, where did that come from? You know what I mean? All right. Well, intuitive friends, I hope that these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and continue to subscribe to the channel. Take care, and I'll see you soon.